We are going to be looking at the birthdays problem on homework 5. So we'll keep some notes here. I'm going to start over here though. Okay, so to start off with, I'm going to ask if we pick numbers between 1 and 10, how many do we need to pick until we get a repetition? I'm going to generate my random numbers in Python. So between 1 and 10 here. And I'm just going to keep running this until we get a repeat. Okay, so there we got a 3. I'm just going to write these down: 9, 6, 5, 1, 7, 10, 3, 8, 3. Okay, so that took 9. Okay. Let's go again. I'm going to start fresh. So I'm going to print new run just to separate it. Okay, 2. There, we already got it. So 2, 5, 4, 8, 4. So that took only 5 times. Let's do a new run again. All right, there we only needed 4 times. So 5, 2, 8, 8. Let's do one more. We're already done. That took 5 times. So we've got a 7, 8, 3, 4, 8. That took 5 times. How about, let's just go a little bit bigger, 1 to 50. So I'm doing it, we can have Python do this all for us in loops, and that's what the assignment is doing. But we can run this on our own just by taking random numbers. If you wanted to take random numbers for somewhere else, you could take it from random.org. Will give you a bunch of numbers. Okay. So this time I'm going to take random.randint 1 to 50. Hopefully this doesn't, oh, and there we already got a repetition. So let's go over here and all right, so this time we got 33, 24, 2, 50, 17, 21, 11, 7, and 50, and that took 9 times. Let's do one more test. Got a repetition there as well. So 16, 44, 19, 14, 19. That only took 5 times. Okay, so then how about birthdays? So we can think of a birthday as a numbers from 1 to 365. 365 days in the year if we ignore February 29th. And so now if we pick people at random, what is the chance that we have 2 people with the same birthday? So that's what we wanted to look at in the code. So here I did this by hand. Just keep running it until I get two that are the same. And I got 9, 5, 4, 5 for going 1 to 10, and I got 9 and 5 for going 1 to 50. I don't want to run this up to 365 because I'll probably make mistakes, and we want the computer to do things for us. So let's go over to the code. All right, so just going to follow the instructions here. Return a random integer between 0 and 364. Okay, so or I could do between 1 and 365. And if I wanted to test that, I could run it like this, and I should get some random number each time I run it. I should get the same unless I comment this. So the random.seed makes sure that I get the same numbers each time. If I want to see it more random, then comment that. Okay, so this was thinking that B is going to be a list of birthdays, and I want to add a new one. So I can say b.append birthday. Or I could have also done new day equals birthday, b.append new day, right? So I could do it in 2 lines or in 1 line. Then if I will run it like this. So what do you think I'll see printed when I run it now? Pause the video for a second. Okay, I get 3 random numbers, and I get the same ones each time I run it because of this random.seed. For testing, I like that. Okay, so this one here is asking that we first sort the numbers and then check and see if 2 adjacent ones are the same. So I'm going to take notes over here. Let's take this first. Let's take this one here. So if this was my, let's say that my B is this. Okay, so how do I check? Are there duplicates? And we can only look at two locations at a time in an if test, or a few locations at a time in an if test. So one way to do it is you sort, then B will be 3, 4, 7, 8, and now I can check B1 versus B0, B2 versus B1, B3 versus B2. So if any of those are the same, then we have a duplicate. If none are the same, we do not. Okay, so we're going to have a loop. This is similar to the cards program where we're looking through the list, comparing, just looking at 2 adjacent numbers in the list. And there's going to be an if condition that if these are the same, I know I have a duplicate. And if you get to the end of the loop and you didn't find any duplicates, then there aren't any. So we need a loop to go through from 1 up to the length of B, and then we need to have an if test in here. I'll put something. Return true, and then otherwise we want to return false. So the something should be, is bi equal to b I minus 1. Well, that's actually code, so we'll just put that. Okay. So pause and make sure you understand that. Right, so we did skip one thing that we need to sort the numbers first for this to work. If we don't sort the numbers, then this example, let's see, when we get this one here, if I compare adjacent numbers here, each pair of adjacent numbers is not the same. But if I sort them, then if you have the same, it'll be two next to each other that are the same. Okay, and I could test this on some test cases. Here's a few. So this one here has a repetition. There's a 3 and there's a 3. This one here does not, so I should see a true and a false. Let's see. Okay, so I printed the lists. So what I really want to print is duplicate. Duplicate is my function. I pass it in a list. A true and a false. And then I can comment that back. And you could try out other test cases as well. Okay, this right here is going to add a birthday too. So we start with a birthdays list that's empty. If there are not any duplicates in that birthdays list, and the first time there won't be because there's nothing, as long as there's not any duplicates, it adds a birthday. And then it returns the length of birthdays. So how many times did we have to go until we got a duplicate? So here we'll see, do it 10 times, and what is it normally like? And if I leave the random.seed, and if you did the same code that I did, we should get the same results. Okay, so let's make it so that we get different answers each time. And it looks like, so the smallest we ever got is 9. I'm seeing a 50, 8, 6. And I haven't noticed anything bigger than, there's a 54. So we ran it maybe 50 times and had answers between 6 and 54. And maybe